So I had always like felt a little different and stuff. Yeah, I feel like my friends are like they think I'm annoying, and then they invite me places out of pity.
Maybe you should join a motorcycle gang.
I might, get my switchblade out,
because
cruising for a bruising.
You've got a bunch of people who care about your well-being. It's like a band of brothers kind of thing.
I already got one of those.
Talking about us?
Yeah.
Is there something behind us?
I got you a birthday boy hat. You see that?
Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have.
Shut up. I got you a birthday boy hat. I'm gonna put it on top of the monitor, okay?
Do it. Oh, it's just real life. I can feel it on my head.
Happy birthday to Dawa. Happy birthday to Dawa. Happy birthday, dear Dawa. Happy birthday to you.
Dawa, I just want to preface this by saying that you are simultaneously one of my closest friends, and also somebody who I would give up to the police without hesitation if the opportunity presented itself. I'm so happy that you're 1 year older, and you're 1 year closer to being tried as an adult in court.
Thank you, Jisoo. Thank you. Oh no,
I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you, Dala! I'm coming after you! Big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Right now, if you head to nordvpn.com/Syrmor, all you have to do is use code Syrmor to get 70% off a 3-year plan, plus 1 whole additional month for free. That makes your subscription just $3.49 per month. Using a VPN helps secure your connection when online. I personally use a VPN because I'm talking to so many different people in virtual reality, and there's always a chance I meet someone malicious. And if you're not protected, it can be very easy to get your IP address and information stolen. Also, sometimes I just use it to watch American Netflix. Or if you're from a country with a censored internet, NordVPN can help you get past that, including the Great China Firewall.
Are you saying I can use NordVPN to hide from the government?
NordVPN actually has their company registered in Panama, meaning that unlike companies registered in the USA, they do not have to hand your information over to the government if asked. So head down to my description, click on nordvpn.com/Syrmor, use my code, and get yourself protected.
My girlfriend broke up with me.
Do you think you're ever going to be okay again, Devin?
No. So, I was inspired by, like, the people you've been talking to. They had hard lives, and I kind of, like, I had nobody to talk to about my life. Like, there's nobody, except for my parents. They understand how I feel sometimes. People think I have depression. I don't, but it's because I always do this blank face all the time. I don't like smile unless it's a picture. Last year was pretty rough, and my mom's starting to realize that she said to me, "You're getting sad. Are you okay?" But I always said, I'm fine. But one time I cried out of the blue. I don't know why I was crying. It was random. I just started crying. And was it the music? Was it how I felt? Was it what I was thinking about? I don't know, because the music was joyful. What I was thinking about was joyful, but I started to cry. I used to get bullied too, and people bully me for my appearance. My appearance. I kind of felt left out, and people be like, "You were born to stand out. You stand out more than anyone in our class." I always hide stuff because I'm scared what people think. And I wanted to say something to my teacher. I wanted to tell the truth, but I was thinking twice. I was thinking too hard. Like, I was making stuff hard for myself. So I was like, she's gonna get mad at me. Oh no, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna say? Is she gonna call the principal on me? I was scared. I was panicking. And the thing is, I almost left my backpack at school. That's how worried I was. I rushed to the lobby, and I kind of cried when I got home. I couldn't feel myself anymore. But when I found out VRchat was a thing,
Oh god, what happened?
I didn't say that many bad things last night. I think I was saying like pretty nice things. I was connected with Odd last night, and everything that I said last night was the holy word, and that's factual.
Do you want to see my favorite avatar, Syrmor?
For Jimmy. Oh, but when I sent you Isabel, you were mad at me? Yo, dude, Syrmor, you're the closest friend I've had in years.
My main fucking man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Dude, do you want to record later?
Yes, let's record tonight.
Do you want to record later?
Dude, let's record.
No, Syrmor, don't record with them while they're drunk. It'll be so bad.
What the fuck? Why are you talking?
Look, I can
Syrmor,
wipe my ass with my phone and create better content than you. Okay?
Okay, Syrmor, listen.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing she's gonna say all night.
You cinnamon bun hair motherfucker.
I'm sober and depressed.
Oh no.
I believe her.
Drumsy, I'm not going to ask why you sleep with a hairdryer, but we're going to go out now, okay? So you're going to come out with us. Oh. Shh, Drumsy, you're going to come out with us.
I don't want to go.
We're going out tonight, Drumsy. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a night with your boys.
Junk is in the trunk.
This is really nice. Just 3 friends hanging out, getting some food, and having a nice relaxing night.
Just trying to set me up. Almost blessed. 15 up in this fucking rush. Bitch think fast. I can't go. Yes, I gotta keep it on me. Bitch, I'm going out like Tony.
Wait.
Whoa! Wait, what's happening to me?
What's going? Are you okay?
Cody,
what's... Oh my God! What's wrong?
Oh God!
Cody!
Oh no! I can't feel my legs!
Cody, what's wrong with you?
I am slowly disappearing from reality. Send help!
Charles, use your muscular powers!
No, Cody!
Go, Charlie!
Charles! Jordan! Charles! Jordan! Charles!
The doctor is not gonna believe this.
Coming!
Doll and I have some very interesting offers for you all. You're just gonna need some information from you.
The credit card number is...
No.
No.
No, we need your social security number.
This isn't very
No, you can't alter them.
Pumped Up Licks took his headset off his face. This is horrifying.
Wait, I'm gonna take my headset off too. I wanna join the club.
I want to join.
It's just a bunch of Winnie the Poohs unplugging from the Matrix.
This is the future that was never foreseen.
Friendship is magic, guys.
If you want salvation, then you ought to go see a priest. Because forgiveness from those that you hurt in this world never was guaranteed. Nah. I'm sober, I've been coming home.
You're better than my science and math teacher because she sucks.
You should be a teacher and teach kids about communism all day.
Yeah, that would be good. You can get kids prepared for the future.
What do you think is happening? What do you think is happening in the future, Henry?
Mass destruction and war.
Okay, hello stream. Help me, he's holding me hostage. My address is... he's holding me in the basement, please call the police. Help, I've been here for 8 weeks. I haven't seen daylight, please help me. fast. I don't know if I will ever see my parents again, but help me, please.
Zawa, I can say one thing that can make you jealous. I met Cody in real life.
You met.
Wait, really?
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
drive this car
I
off a
did.
bridge.
How was that?
What's wrong with being all grown up?
It's stupid. Growing up should be dumb. No, it is dumb. Jordan, isn't growing up dumb?
Huh?
Isn't growing up dumb?
Yes, it does suck because you don't get as much care.
No, it just sucks. In general.
Well,
I think some of us will split up, but I hope not. I hope we can all like stick together. I feel like some of us will like grow up, but like on a different level, and like we won't be like that close of friends anymore. That's like my biggest fear of what will happen.
I will eat your toes, boys!
Please! Jordan, the gods didn't want this! They didn't want this, Jordan! Please!
Calm down!
Oh, God!
What's wrong?
The world is ending!
What's wrong, Cody? You want me to end your misery?
No.
Hands up, Cody, that you're being mugged.
Wait, Mom, do you want to say hi to Charlie and everyone? No, go up to the microphone to say hi.
Hi!
Just say hi to the microphone.
Hi into the microphone.
How do you feel about growing up?
Scary. Like, really scary.
I don't want to lose everything that I have right now. Like I already know I'm growing up, but like just the fact of it like scares me. Like I'll lose all my friends if I'm
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll all be on Discord still and talk, but there's a fairly low chance that we'll all play
No,
Roblox.
don't say that. They're all like my best friends. I think she's on her medicine right now.
What type of medicine is she on?
I'm not sure, but I think at nighttime, she's... You know how she has, her cancer, right?
Yeah, you mentioned it before.
I'm sad about it, but I can't do much, so I'm just like praying that the doctors can fix it. She goes to treatment like every other week. It's chemo, so they're just filling her body with poison to get out the other poison. But every time she comes back from chemo, she's super sick. And she's like super cranky, and she just has to sleep all day, and it's just kind of scary. Well, you don't know when you're gonna walk in there, and I don't know when I might see her not alive, like laying on the bed. Because all of her body parts are super, like she could just slip once, and then everything could screw up. Like she could just slip and fall, and like everything in her body could break, because her body's super frail right now because of all the chemo and stuff. I think it's because of the chemo. My dad knows a lot about it. She slipped and she was bleeding once, and it was really bad. So we took my mom to the hospital, and she's fine now. It was just like a little bit of blood.
How did her and your dad meet?
At a diner.
They met at a diner?
Mm-hmm. My mom was a waiter. She has a breather thing that's hooked up to the wall that helps her breathe because her lungs.
Do you and your mom talk about her cancer a lot?
Yeah, we usually just talk about her beating it and getting it done with. I don't like her saying that. Like sometimes she'll say like, if I don't get through this or something like that, and I try to like keep saying, no, you will get through this. Don't say that you won't. She's been really like doubtful and cautious like most of the time, but it's starting happening more recently because doctor said it's permanent, most likely. So we kind of know that she'll have an early death, but we try not to think about it too much. No, actually, we don't know. She might live like a really long life and a really happy life, but it could. The scary thing is there's a possibility it could be cut short by the cancer, and I don't want it to be like that.
I really do think that there's room for magic in our world. I love dreams and how they can lead you into, I don't know, a certain kind of wisdom about yourself. You know what I mean? I did have a dream once where I got to visit the control room where God was controlling the world. It was such a trippy dream. I used to always wake up with, if I had a weird dream like that, I'd write it down, but now I can't write it down. Right now I'm breathing with the help of what I call an air sipper. And with this I get to control when I take a sip of air. When I do, I get 2 liters of air blown into my lungs.
Sleep is almost like mini dying. I don't know, when I'm awake then I can be like conscious and think and be aware and do stuff. I don't know, just if I didn't want to go to sleep. Maybe I would die in my sleep. I don't know, I just got uncomfortable with this sleep nothingness, which reminds me of my dislike of death. Nothingness. The universe is just this big black void. We're all just trapped on this rock and nobody really knows what's going on. Anything like horrific can happen on Earth. There's no sort of random happening and there's no explanation. I guess like you live your whole life trying to achieve certain goals or you make relationships with certain people and it all just gets lost to the void eventually. It bothers me and it affects my mentality towards doing stuff. I don't know, like I just don't feel maybe the same sort of like ambitions or like it's just like I'll be thinking, oh, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna learn this and then I just get like creeping thoughts about how it's pointless. It's just like unwanted thoughts that I just think about. Comes and goes. I mean, in certain situations, it's also not a bad thing, but it's also just kind of scary because it's like, well, if somebody's in pain and they die and there's nothing, then at least there's no more pain. It's also like you never experience anything good ever again, which fucks with me. I'm trying to like be better at trying to, like if there's people that I care about, like I know they're not going to be here forever, so trying like in the moment spend time with them or be more open with them. Just 'cause it's easy for me to sort of like go into my own little world and just want to be kind of alone. Oh my god. Okay, I really have to go to bed. Like, I have to wake up in like 3 hours. I'm completely fucked.
Well, if it's any consolation to you, a lot of philosophers like to debate whether or not you die whenever you fall asleep and the person that wakes up isn't the same. So the person yesterday that went to bed died before you woke up this morning, and the person I'm talking to right now will not exist tomorrow.
Fuck.
She won't let me see my son today. He's 5 years old. I mean, he knows I have ALS. He told me the other day he thought I could have surgery to get all better. And I don't want to tell him there's no hope that, I'm definitely going to die or anything like that. I just tell him that everybody dies and we talk about it. I'm always honest with him, though.
But I distinctly remember this one situation. I was like 8 years old, and my dad picked up 2 women, clearly now knowing they were prostitutes. He picked up 2 women, and he brought 5 of us, including him, so my brother, me, and these 2 prostitutes back to his place, locked my brother and I in the bathroom, and had sex with these 2 ladies high on drugs, as like my brother and I are like locked in this bathroom. And so I remember like wanting to build a Lego that I had just got when he told me that I had to like stay in the bathroom. I was just mad because I just wanted to like build this like Lego ship that I got. My mom had keys to his place, knew where he lived, saw what was going on. Like she came, yes, into the apartment, saw like 2 women in bed with Dad, and then took us. And that was like the final straw. She said, yep, no more. Like Bernie, which is my dad's name, you're f***ed up. You gotta sort your life out. You have 2 options. You can either be like a father to your children, or you're gone. You don't get any contact with them. You're just gone.
So I was in this small office, like a little 13-year-old girl with like 2 principals, security officer, and 2 police officers. I remember clutching on my binder as they tell me that they found coke on the kid who sits in front of me. He said that I helped him chop it up and put it into the baggie, and that I took turns snorting it with the other kid who got caught. And I'm just like bawling my eyes out. I'm like, no, this is not what happened. Like, that was not me. I would never do that. The cop eventually takes me back into school, and my dad is there, and he doesn't say anything. Me and my dad like didn't have the most amazing relationship growing up. He worked a lot, and again, like I gave my parents a lot of grief. And around like my freshman year of high school, I was coming off of like puberty. Puberty was a bad time for me. Bad time. And so he didn't say anything to me, and I was scared. Like, I had never cried so much in my life. And he takes me in the car, and I'll never forget that like drive back home after all that happened. 35 days was my initial sentence. So he took me to Walmart, and I was just crying because you have to wear a certain uniform. Like, I had never felt just so down about myself. I felt like such a piece of shit. Like, I disappointed my parents. And I'll never forget, like, because my dad never really said it. He was like, no matter what, like, I'll always love you no matter what you do. I'm sorry if I tear up because I love my dad so much. And that meant so much to me because I had been so mean to my parents up to that point. Just like hearing that my dad still loved me no matter what I did to him. Like, that meant so much to me. And like, it just helped me find like brightness in such like a bad situation that I felt like I was so scared of getting jail time. Like, I thought I would never go to college or anything like that. Like, I was thinking the worst.
I have a question.
Yeah.
At some churches, they have like a dress code, right? You know, it's on Sunday you get in your nice dress shirt and your nice slacks, and you show up to church. In VR church, is there like an avatar dress code? Like, would someone kind of like not wearing pants like this not be allowed? Or
I'm not wearing
is it
pants
accepted?
right now in real life.
Drumsy, if you don't mind lowering yourself into the water. So Drumsy, you're fully immersed in the water, and you can stay there for a minute. And right now, what this is happening is you're immersing yourself in divine love. God's love is all around you, and He has a goal and a destiny for your life. And so that love that's inside your spirit, God wants you to know that you are a child of God, and that all your mistakes and all your failures and all your regrets, all those things are in the past. And so you're being immersed in divine love, and you're also declaring to everyone that the old self is dying, the old attitudes are dying, and the old Drumsy, those things are now in the past. And so Drumsy, I baptize you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So Drumsy, rise up again into new life to signify new life for your spiritual walk. And that, my friends, is your baptism. And I think we should all celebrate Drumsy. Let's give him a...
Yay! Woohoo! Yay! Good job! So
I
proud of you.
got blood rushing to my head when I got up.
How do you feel?
I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like I just had an experience, even though I was just crouching for like 10, 15, like what was that, like 30 seconds. I was crouching for 30 seconds. It feels like it was much longer. Wow.
Yeah.
How did I look, Syrmor?
I mean, you look pretty submerged. I mean, from my angle. Oh, and the water's gone.
Oh, there goes the water.
SpongeBob! I think the little insecure middle school / high school me would just hear that a girl was interested in me, or if I was just good at talking to whoever, of having a good conversation, and then she seemed like a little like into it, then I'd be like, oh my god, she's into me. That's not a normal thing that'll happen a lot, so I better just go with it. And I would go out with them.
I just don't want you to get that kind of idea about us.
I thought what we had was like, I thought we were just working together because you liked me as a person.
This is purely carnal.
Oh fuck, man. What about you, Charles? Surely you feel what I feel for you, right?
If you feel like you want to take a credit card out under my name, then yes.
Fuck, man.
We ended up just doing shots all night, and it got to a point where I could barely stand. She was completely sober. I was like, I'm really drunk, and she was like, oh no, I'm feeling okay. And I was like, how is this possible? Like, she was half my size as well, and she'd had like 6 shots of vodka. So we went to like a chicken place, and I was eating chicken, pissed out of my brain, of course. And this guy walked in, and he was like, this is the best chicken in London. And I laughed and was like, oh, I like this guy. He's got the right idea. And he saw me laugh and point at him. And he came over and was like, I heard what you said. You know, it's not right to make fun of people. And I was like, oh, no, I was just... And then he punched me in the face. But I was so drunk that I could barely feel it. So I was like, oh, well, you know, I can diffuse the situation. I just won't do anything because it didn't hurt because I was so pissed. So then he hit me again. And he hit me about 3 or 4 times and then bought some chicken and left. And this poor girl must have been like... So I'm sober and I'm on this date with this guy who's drunk out of his mind, and now he's just gotten into a fight and just sat there while this guy punched him in the side of the head. And I was like, so can I have your number? And she was like, no, and then walked off.
I was at home, just doing nothing, just hoping to get some sort of message from her, a call from her, you know, and then ended up getting a response from her parents instead. She apparently begged and pleaded not to let me know that what was going on, but they thought it was wrong for her not to tell me, you know? They met me and we talked and they told me the whole story. The doctors and the surgeons had a hard time removing the cancerous cells from her spine, just because it's such a delicate area. They basically told me she's terminal. I'm pretty sure I blacked out from the shock. I went to go visit her. She was extremely thin, extremely pale. It was a really hard sight for me to see. First time I saw her, I just kneeled down and just held her hand and laid my head beside her, and I just stayed there the whole time. I couldn't understand what she was saying most of the time because the cancer had caused her to have several seizures. It messed up her speech patterns, and a lot of times she was just babbling. It was hard to understand her, and I just... It's hard knowing I only had so much time with her. Basically, she was having a really bad seizure, and I thought like I would just call the nurse for it, and they took me out of the room. I didn't see what happened, but they told me that she hemorrhaged internally and died from, I suppose, blood loss and brain damage. I wasn't there when she passed. Even no matter how horrific the sight was, I wish I was. All I wanted to do was be by her side for as long as I could. Maybe she was the one, and that's it, you know? I don't get anyone else like that.
If you could go back in time and do it again, would you? Knowing how much it's hurt you?
I would. I'd like to relive that, even knowing if it would end the same way. It would be worth the hurt. I don't want to... I'm scared of falling in love again and having it ripped from me. I can't get into another relationship again.
If you were able to say something to her now that you didn't before, is there anything that comes to mind?
I would just say I love you. I love you, and I want you to know that I care for you deeply, and I just wanted to hear her say I love you back. I'm sorry. That's all.
I was born with a very rare skin disease called recessive dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa, but I know that's a long word, right? So let's just call it the butterfly condition. Since it's called the butterfly condition, my skin is as fragile as a butterfly's wing, any light friction, my skin will just scrape right off and blister. So it's really painful. It's like one of the most painful diseases on the earth, which kind of sucks. I have to take a lot of very strong pain medications, like opioids. I know that's not really a good thing to take, but it's a lot of pain that comes with this condition. I also have to wear bandages all over my body. Every 3 weeks, I have to get the bandages changed, which really hurts because when I'm in the bathtub or when I'm taking a shower, the water really hurts my body because of all the wounds. The thing that sucks about this disease is that whenever I go out in public, which usually I don't, but when I do, for like special occasions, people always stare at me, which is a very sad thing for me because I don't want to be stared at. I just want to be looked at like a normal person. More or less people look at my hands because my hands are really damaged and scarred up. So I can't do like the normal things like open doors that easily or open a water bottle. So I have a lot of special things in my life, as you probably know. Like sooner or later I won't have any fingers at all, which sucks.
And you play Fortnite like that?
I build with my feet. I use foot pedals.
That's amazing.
That is absolutely crazy.
And I also stream on Twitch, which is like a thing that keeps me really happy.
If you didn't have the hand cam, you wouldn't know.
That's why I have it for like proof purposes, and so people don't talk and stream and say that you're faking it or whatever.
And people are dicks online, so...
That only means...
Just Toms, I swear to God, just Toms. I swear to God, just
God damn
Toms.
it.
Do you have
Shut
any
it down, Lego.
other questions?
What do you make of the mortgage interest tax rate deduction on your income taxes? Do you think they should keep that? Don't look at him.
Does your dad watch your Twitch stream?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, that's pretty cool. He's supportive.
You want me to get him on the mic?
Sure, we'll say hi to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, dads just have a way of stealing the show.
I wonder how much he knows about video games, because this is going to be very confusing for him if he doesn't know what's happening.
I barely understand what we're doing. Like, anime girls would be easier to explain.
Hey, how you doing?
Aaron talks really highly about you, so we have high expectations.
Shout out to my dad. He's really big and strong. He can lift a plane from the ground, and he can do a lot of other things.
We can only assume that you're a superhero.
Well, tell you one thing, I definitely felt like I was built for this, for being Aaron's dad. But, I mean, really, he has a lot of challenges, but if they had him with no challenges, we'd probably end up at the same cool road that we're on. So I remember one time we were at a surprise birthday party with adults, and then kids were upstairs, big family, and then he was what was it, Call of Duty or something? Yeah, it's Call of Duty, and then he was playing with some kids, and then I heard the chatter from other parents saying, man, your son's really good at these games. The current computer that he has, it was a pretty smooth build, but I have some suggestions. I mean, right now he's sitting there nodding his head. I have suggestions on kind of helping out with the system a little bit more, but he's adamant on, nope, you don't know what you're talking about, and yada yada. So it's cool.
And classic kid dad stuff.
Yeah, with the road that he's on right now, I tell people all the time, I'm not really as worried about, where he'll be able to, be as a productive older human being, and I'm really proud of him. I mean, I'm happy that he says some good things about me. We watched a YouTube video of this gentleman who was born with no hands, and he's an engineer and he's into cars, and he works for Hendrick Racing. I see when you have a desire and really a true love for something. It's beautiful to see. That's the most important thing, I think, being happy and just feeling like you have your dreams and you can go after them.
If you could tell everybody in the world one thing, what would it be?
Never let anything stop you.
This is the outro, it's over, go home. This is the outro to a Syrmor video. This is the outro, hope you had a nice time. This is the outro, subscribe and like.